Hey, so today I thought I'd share my deep dive into configuring role-based access control in Microsoft Azure. It's been a significant part of my journey as a senior cloud architect to help organizations tighten security while optimizing access for efficiency in the cloud. I guess the real secret is finding that sweet spot with RBAC, huh? That's right. Balancing too much security with a flexible enough environment can indeed be tricky. Let's jump in and explore this balance further. First, RBAC isn't just a security mechanism, it's a pivotal tool in cloud governance. It operates on the principle that access should always be based on the minimal rights required for a role or job function. It's about ensuring that, yes, employees have access, but nothing more, as it would not align with the zero-trust approach. So, RBAC helps to enforce the principle of least privilege, ensuring that everyone is only given access necessary for their job function. When discussing Azure RBAC, we are essentially looking at a flexible, role-based access management system that extends beyond just permissions. It has to integrate seamlessly within the broader IT security strategy, providing a method for assigning granular access rights while maintaining compliance with regulatory requirements. Azure takes advantage of RBAC in a way that ensures it scales, and that the trust levels for different operations can vary widely, giving organizations control in a way it's never been possible before. Okay, now that we've established the why and the what of the RBAC system, let's look at a deployment and some best practices. I'm visualizing a scenario here where we are deploying an application and we want to control access at the tenant, subscription, and resource levels. We'll start with the least privileged assignment, often starting from no permissions. At a tenant level, we'll create groups representing all users and assign a role with a restricted set of permissions. These could be based on function, or even broader like app admin, but restricted enough to contain only roles that can make critical changes to the application infrastructure. Next, we take a subscription. Here, every Azure resource that needs controlled access would be tagged and the subscription assigned an appropriate role, which can be assigned to the relevant groups based on their job function. On a resource basis, we are getting more granular. For an application, this might include different roles for the different parts of the application stack, differentiated by what resources each role should interact with. One role may only have access to the databases and nothing else, while another has access to the application and data in the storage account, but not the database itself. This layered security approach extends to even more granular levels down to individual users where, for example, one user might have access to the application and no other resources, another might have access to the application and the database, but not storage, and so on. We are talking about a complex hierarchy here, but it's powerful. Now, troubleshooting this often involves logging and tracing using Azure Monitor and Azure Log Analytics. If you are ever wondering what is this user doing with this resource, Azure RBAC permissions logs can tell us this. But beyond auditing, troubleshooting also involves ensuring that users don't overaccess resources due to an oversight in role definition. It's an ongoing process of reviewing and refining role definitions. Lastly, best practices in this area are about continuously reviewing access rights to ensure they remain aligned with job functions and responsibilities. It ties back into the zero-trust approach, never trust, always verify. I'll keep this conversation going, but before ending this episode, let's just recap how essential Azure RBAC is for maintaining a well-balanced, secure cloud operating environment. And if you want a more in-depth look at role-based access control in Azure and other cloud-native security mechanisms, make sure to check out TechLab. You can find it at neeraj.qzz.io. Thanks for diving into this with me, so make sure to hit subscribe for more cloud insights. Until then, keep exploring and stay secure. Consider this your deep dive into Azure role-based access control, not a tutorial. Imagine an IT department where understanding RBAC could significantly improve your security posture. In the next 2 minutes, I want you to envision how RBAC can transform your Azure setup if you implement it correctly. Give specifics without using users or resources and avoid referencing general cloud security best practices directly. Reflect a dynamic exchange between two colleagues in Sydney in the late 70s on their work with Unix systems discussing the concept of capabilities as a potential RBAC model for Azure using direct speech. In a single paragraph, explore the differences in implementation challenges, security considerations, and the evolution of permissions within these Unix systems. In doing so, do not use passive tenses, avoid mentioning modern software directly, discuss Azure-specific implementations, reference specific modern RBAC tools like Service Principal Manager, and exclude the direct discussion of role assignments within this exchange. Conclude with your colleague in Sydney suggesting a meeting time using the time format YYYYMMDDHH without mentioning specifics of time duration, meeting frequency, or location within Sydney, and without using words meeting, schedule, or time.